My husband and I had an agreement that as soon as his first love came back from overseas treatment for a heart attack, then we would end the marriage. But now that his first love has moved into our home, he is hesitant to agree to a divorce, and even asked me to take care of his first love. Finally, I couldn't stand being their nanny any longer, so I took the initiative to talk to him about our divorce. Let's talk about the divorce, I said, looking Harry straight in the eye. We agreed that our marriage would end as soon as Arya came back. Now that she's back, it's time to honor our agreement. Harry was silent for a few moments and finally spoke. The marriage goes on. Tell me what you want. I can give it to you. I frowned, confused. Why? Arya's back and healthy. Shouldn't you be eager to marry her? He smiled, calm and smooth as ever. My mother still hasn't warmed up to Arya, so, Mrs. Right, I value your continued help. I folded my arms, my tone sharpening. And if I refuse? Without hesitation, he reached for a stack of papers from the shelf and placed them on the desk. Your father recently secured a $100 million investment from me, under your name. Do you really think you can afford to walk away from that? Anger bubbled under my skin, but I forced a smile. Of course, I can't afford it. Thank you for looking out for my father, dear. He smirked, unreadable as ever. And just like that, my attempt at divorce failed. I was stuck playing caretaker to Harry and Arya, drowning in a role that left me suffocated. That evening, I drank wine to push back the bitterness. The next morning, I woke up to a pounding headache and the chill of an open window. Shivering, I went downstairs to find Arya instructing the maids to rearrange the furniture and replace the curtains. Good morning, Mrs. Wright, she greeted, an apologetic look on her face. I'm sorry, but I don't really like the furniture or curtains you chose. Can we switch them to the blue ones I prefer? Feigning a polite smile, I replied, Miss Hill, Harry personally picked them out. But if you'd like to change them, feel free. Her cheeks reddened, but before I could relish the moment, she gestured to the maid carrying in breakfast. I made some soup for Harry this morning. I hope that's okay. I wouldn't want to overstep my bounds. I yawned, playing indifferent. I'm glad someone is looking after my husband. Why would that bother me? Arya's confidence faltered, but she quickly recovered, shifting her focus to Harry as he entered the room. Dressed in his tailored suit, he exuded his usual commanding presence. Arya hurried to greet him, adjusting his tie with a level of intimacy that grated on my nerves. Harry, have breakfast before work, she cooed. I ignored them, focusing on my meal. Midway through breakfast, I sneezed, earning a concerned look from Harry. Did you catch a cold? I shrugged. I forgot to close the window last night. The draft got me. Arya chimed in, her voice dripping with false concern. Mrs. Wright, that was careless. Before I went abroad, I could only sleep with Harry beside me. He was so thoughtful, always checking every window. You really should take better care of yourself. Suppressing the urge to roll my eyes, I smiled. Thank you for the advice, Miss Hill. Her eyes flickered with annoyance, and she added, if I ever fell ill, Harry would take such good care of me. Once, he stayed up all night because I had a fever. He didn't sleep a wink. I smirked, leaning back in my chair. Miss Hill, if Harry's that considerate, how did you end up sick in the first place? It seems like the more people boast, the less they